All right, hello, geometry kids. First, I have to apologize to my B days because I do this on the night of before A days. So then when I'm saying happy weekend, the B day is like, what? So I apologize because you're probably like wondering why I'm not addressing you guys on your weekend. So I apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed the beautiful weather we had. Now it's quite a bit colder, but still get outside and hang out. All right, so today we're going to be talking about surface area. You guys did this back in 5th and 6th grade. This will be a little bit more complex than you did then, but the beginning should look very familiar. So this is the net. I think you guys took cereal boxes and you cut them apart, the non-overlapping parts, and you laid them out, and that's what this is. So the lateral area, just so you know, there's a total surface area. So that's like all of the sides here. So that's like this area, that area, that area, that area, that area, and that area. And then there's the lateral surface area. The lateral area, the definition up here, is just the surface area of the side, so not the top and not the bottom. So a prism is a little bit tricky because how do you know what the top and the bottom are? On a can of corn, it's super easy. The circular top and the circular bottom would be the top and the bottom, and then the label for the can of corn would be like the lateral area. So we'll get to that later. But anyway, so for a prism, you would have to know what the top and the bottom is if they needed to know the lateral surface area, because if you turned it, you'd have a different top and bottom. But for a can of corn, you can't like roll it along the edge. Like the lateral area would be the label part. Okay, anyway, so moving on, we have find the lengths of the sides for the A, B, C, D. So if you look, this 10 corresponds with C here. That's the length there. So what we did is we took the back of this box and we opened it all up. So we flipped to the left side, we flipped the front and the side out, we flipped the top up and the bottom out. So that's what we did. So this C is 10, and this 7, the height, is A, which is that height, that height, that height, that height, that height, and then all these little lengths, this length, this length, this length, that length, and that length is the 4, that's the width. All right, so I'm going to fill all of these in. So I found out I have to do this with my finger, otherwise I have to type. Okay, so A is 7, and B is 4, and C is that long length, so that is 10, and D is another short length, so that is 4. All right, so in order to find the lateral area, I just want this 1, 2, 3, 4, just those. Okay, so for this one, A is going to be 7 times 4, so this is 28. This right here is going to be the back, so that's 7 times 10, that's 70. So this right here is also going to be a 28, because that's another 4 times 7. And this is the front, so that's another 70. So for the lateral area, we simply add those up. 28 plus 70 plus 28 plus 70. I'm not going to do the calculations today because we have 6 examples to get through in the 15 minutes. Okay, so the last part is what is the surface area? So to find the surface area, we simply take the lateral area from above, and then we add the top plus the bottom. Okay, so the lateral area, the top is going to be 40, and the bottom is also going to be 40. So this right here is 4 times 10, so that is 40. So this is also 40. So we take this answer right here, which is our lateral area, plus 40 plus 40, and that is our total surface area. All right, so that is how you do a prism. Okay, next, we're going to try and do this quickly. Okay, this is the net down here of a triangular prism. So the top and the bottom have to match. So you see how this is the top and that's the bottom? These 3 sides don't match, so they cannot be the top and the bottom. Therefore, it makes these white sides, these white rectangles is the lateral area, and the top and the bottom is the top and the bottom, not part of the lateral area, but part of the total surface area. All right, so this is all like lined up here. So let's see if we can figure out what is what. So this 10 right here is this 10 right here. The height is 12. And then here is an 8 and a 6. So this, if you notice, is a right triangle. It's an 8, 6, 10 right triangle. So this part is an 8, a 6 and an 8. And then this part right here is a 10. So when we're finding our A, B, C, D, the D is going to match with this 10. So our D is going to be 10. And the B is the height, so the B is 12. And the A, if you look right here, this A right here goes with this right here. So those two line up. So if this is 6, that has to be 6. This is the longer side of the triangle, so that is 8. All right, so this is A is 6 and C is 8. Okay, so to find the lateral area, we find the area of those three rectangles. So this rectangle is a 12 by, that's going to be 8. So I believe that's 96. I hope that's 96. 80, 16, yep, 96. This middle area here is going to be a 10 by 12, so that's going to be 120. And then this part right here is going to be a 6 by 12. And a 6 by 12 is going to be 60, 72. So that is your lateral area. So 96 plus 120 plus 70, lateral area. So then simply to find the total surface area, we simply take the lateral area from above and we add the top and the bottom. So the top part is up here, you can't see it, whatever. Okay, so this is an 8 and that's a 6. So this is actually a right triangle. So the base is 6, the height is 8, so it's 48. And 48 divided in half is 24. This is going to be the same. Top and bottom are always the same. So plus 24 plus 24 times 2. Okay, moving on so we can get finished. Okay, the next one, cylinder. All right, this is called a cylinder. So if you do the net of a cylinder, if you think about the label of a soup can, it's actually the rectangle. And then you've got the top and the bottom. The top and the bottom are those two circles that match. Okay, it says find the surface area, so we're doing the whole thing. The lateral area would just be that rectangle part. And the top and bottom would be the two circles, but we're not doing lateral area, so it says surface area, so we do the whole thing. So let's start with the easy part, to me, the circles, okay? So how do you find the area of a circle? The area of a circle is pi r squared, so the area of a circle is pi r squared. So you can see the radius of that circle is 6, so this is going to be pi times 6 squared. So when I'm finding the surface area, I have two of those. So I have pi times 36 plus pi times 36. You could just double that because these are both the same. Okay, so now we're going to move along to the soup can. How do you know how long that soup can label is? Well, we know this is 9. Okay, this right here, this length right there, is actually the diameter or the circumference of the circle. Ooh, circumference of the circle. Okay, so let's put that up here. What is the circumference of the circle? The distance around a circle, same as perimeter. It's 2 pi r. So this distance right here is 2 times pi times 6. So that means that my lateral area is going to be 9 times 2 times pi times 6. So therefore, my surface area is going to be 36 pi plus 36 pi plus 9 times 2 times pi times 6. And then they tell you to go ahead and put in, not really a fan of this, but it's okay. They tell you to go ahead and put in 3.14 for pi. And I personally just like using the pi button, but it says to use 3.14, so that's what you need to do. So then you can calculate that on your own. Okay, moving on so we don't run out of time. Okay, so for the next one, we are figuring out this is the mailbox, and it says the company is going to make 1,960 of these mailboxes this week. So what they need to know is how many square meters of aluminum they need to make the mailboxes. So when you get done, you have to multiply your answer by 1960 because that is how many you are making. So keep that in mind. All right, so we need the surface area of this whole mailbox, and then we're going to multiply it by 1960. And once again, we're using 3.14 for pi. And then it says to round up. Why are we going to round up? Because 3.4 is rounded, so it's not super accurate. And pi is bigger than 3.14. Anyway, okay. So these parts should be easy, okay? This part right here, I'm going to point to it, is the 0.6, the width times the height of 0.75. This is 0.8 times 0.75. This part right here is 0.75 times 0.6. And the back is 0.8 times 0.75. So I'm gonna let you guys work on those on the front, back, right, left, and the bottom. This part right here between the cylinder, the half cylinder, and the prism we're not going to use because that doesn't have anything to do with, that's not like on the outside. So then how do we do this piece right here? All right, to do this piece right here, we have half of the circumference. So we are going to do this part right here, it's half of the circumference. So the circumference is equal to 1/2 times 2 pi r, because we only have half of it. And then we're going to multiply that by the height of the label. So the height of the label is 0.8. So to figure out this curved part, so the curved part, which is hard to curve metal, and it's hard to write on this laptop screen, sorry. The curved part is going to be pi times the radius, which is 0.3, times the height, which is 0.8. And that's going to be the curved part. Then we have the circle part here and the circle part here. So that's 2 half circles. So that's going to be 1 whole circle. So the circle area is going to be pi r squared. So that's going to be pi times 0.3 squared. So you simply take this right here and you add it to this right here, and then you add it to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides, the 5 rectangles. Okay, so I am going to skip the next one because I think you guys can do this. Probably the hint that you need is how to find the area of this triangle. Well, that triangle is a 15 by 12. So how do you find the area of a triangle? The base times the height. So it's 1/2 times 12 times 15. And there's 4 of those. So you're going to multiply that by 4 and then do the front, back, right, left, and the bottom. Okay, the last one, you need a formula for this one, is calculating the surface area of a sphere. The surface area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. So that then is going to be 4 times pi, which you're going to put in 3.14 again, times r squared. And it says the radius is 6.8, and you're only squaring the 6.8, not the entire equation. And then you're putting in 3.14 for pi. And units are always squared, centimeters squared, meters squared, miles squared, because it's an area. A base and a height gives you 2 dimensions. Surface area is a 2-dimensional figure, 2 dimensions. So you can check the notes and I'll finish all these up. Have a fabulous day and have fun doing your homework. Okay, bye y'all. I forgot, if it's the diameter, make sure you divide it in half to get the radius. So the diameter is equal to the radius divided by 2. Bye.